ReconAthlete.com podcast is brought to you by Lawnman ATX and Kreitz Market. All right, Recon Athlete.
Recon podcast.
Recon
episode
what?
Number.
Which one?
What number are we?
38.
Recon podcast, episode number 38. Chris Sanchez, P-Rod, Zach Lucero in the building. Special Friday edition.
You're supposed to say yourself first, though.
Nah, I like to put y'all first.
Oh. Are you just saying I'm just selfish like that?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Dang, actually, I forgot. I got some food for y'all.
Oh, for real?
Some
I'll
cake.
tell you what, those cookies slammed. I'm just gonna say
some cake. I know. I got a piece of cake for lunch, like with my lunch, and I wasn't gonna eat it, and I knew I was coming to see the big boys, so I figured y'all would eat it.
There's only really one, but yeah.
Nah, he thinks I'm fat, dude.
But Chris, you like a. I mean, I don't know what you.
Man,
like
I don't know what
you're a lightweight.
Why do you think I'm fat, dude?
What am I supposed to think? You're skinny?
No, I mean, but I'm not fat. I mean, I'm bigger than you. That's for sure.
Bigger than Snoop?
Well, everybody's bigger than Snoop. Where's my phone? Dang it! All right, I'll be right back.
Oh gosh.
Timeout.
No, go.
Oh yeah, well it's just me and Zach. Yeah. So, anyways, let me get back to this cake we're talking about. Talk to me about this cake.
What's the cake called? The Mexican cake where it's like kind of milky and it's got the strawberries.
Tres leches? Tres leches?
Yeah.
Nah, man, I don't dig on no tres leches.
I don't know. I never had it before, so it's. But it's
to me, the reason I don't like that is the texture. It's like too creamy,
like mushy.
Yeah, mushy. I'm not really down with that. But I'm telling you what, if you ever have like just good old fashioned yellow cake, I mean that's how I grew up.
It's from Gloria's downtown.
In San Antonio?
No, in Austin.
Yeah. See, now even more. Now, if you had some sopapillas, that'd be a little different story because I'll be dealing with those. Of course, we know New Year's is coming up, so who's getting on with those? What were those things called? They're like the
Buñuelos.
Buñuelos. There we go.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'm talking about.
You know what Buñuelos are?
Did y'all get anything good for Christmas?
Sure, I got me a new wallet. I'm real excited about that.
You like?
That's pretty lame.
I got what? Why?
Well, I mean, I got cash too, but I wasn't trying to like flex or nothing.
How much cash you got?
I got $10. Nah, I got more than that.
Did you get anything good, Chris?
I got some sleepwear.
Sleepwear.
God, yeah, they're so old.
You know, like I got some
kitchen
house
appliances.
What did you get, Zach?
I got some house shoes. I got and then I got a pillow.
Jeez. I got these new Chelsea boots for when y'all see me out on the streets.
Chelsea, like soccer?
No, it's just like a style of boot. But like the gift that I'm really excited for, I got this weighted blanket.
Okay.
Have you ever seen one of those?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 15 pounds blanket, and it's supposed to like help you sleep way better, and like supposed to like help with anxiety and all this stuff. So you probably could use this, Chris. It's supposed to help like with all this stuff like that, like depression and all this stuff. So I'm excited to use it.
Are you saying I'm depressed?
I mean, you really let yourself go.
Dang, man, this guy.
All right, so tell me about this. Y'all like those cookies I made?
Yeah, I actually took him.
Like
I took him to a friend of mine.
I had to contain myself because I had two, and I'm like, man, I'm about to put these away because I'm about to kill this whole five piece. I was like, man, a 5-piece, you got to bring me up with a 10-piece.
Yeah,
they're pretty good.
No, I took him over to a friend's house, and everybody liked him over there.
Well, speaking of taking over, Dallas Cowboys, Jason Garrett, the clock is ticking. It's about that time.
It's the last stand for Coach Clappy.
It's about that time.
Do they win tomorrow?
I think they do. They're an 11-point favorite.
Here we go.
Haskins is hurt, man.
Oh yeah, so who's starting?
Case Keenum.
Yeah, he's pretty bad. I mean, I think at this point, the only reason why the Cowboys are going to win is just because the Redskins are so terrible.
They're so bad. I mean, they did push the Giants. I mean, to overtime last week. So it's put 35 points up. But Dwayne Haskins was the one who scored 28 of them.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't think that the Cowboys should have any issues.
Dallas is at home as well.
I mean, I still don't trust them though, man.
The real game we need to talk about is the Giants and Philadelphia. That's what we need to talk about.
But we got to let Zach get his.
Well, I don't ever have anything to say.
He just created a segue.
I was just trying to lead the show, but y'all didn't give me the show notes, so I just knew we were talking about the Cowboys.
I mean, it's Cowboys, college football playoffs, and a little bit of bowl game talk if we can. ReconAthlete.com podcast, episode number 38.
I said that already.
Chris Sanchez, Zach Luceto, Paul Rodriguez. I mean, you don't do it very well, so I have to reset us.
Reset.
You know, you got to reset us.
I need you to reset me with them cookies. That's all I got to say. I'm a fat boy tip for this whole Christmas weekend. I got no shame with it.
All right, so the Cowboys are 11-point favorites. Are you saying they're covering? Because
no, I didn't say that. I said they were winning. I didn't say they were covering. They'll win the money line.
I mean, I think Redskins are so bad, though.
You think Dallas
They're
is going to
just so
score
bad.
12 points or more to cover that 11 points?
They're going to score touchdowns at least this week, rather than what they did last week, where they kicked some field goals.
So that means people are going to catch the ball this week, and Dak's going to not throw late, and that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, no, I think they're just going to play a defense that's not as good. The game's not going to have as much impact, or it's not going to be as big of a game as last week's was, because in these big games, the Cowboys haven't done very well historically now in the past few years when they're playing these potential division clinching or something that's going to knock them out. Elimination games. They just don't seem to show up in those.
Well, the boys in Vegas are thinking you're right because the over-under is 45.5. So they're thinking touchdowns are going to be scored, and I'm just not quite buying that. I think Forbath is going to be the guy who gets them out. Maybe they win by 9, but I don't think they're covering 12 or more to get that. Covering 11 or more to get that.
All right, so does Zeke Elliott get 100 yards or more?
Yes.
Dak Prescott gets 200, gets 250, 300.
No, he probably gets under 220. He probably gets around there, 220, 210.
Okay. Any interceptions?
Yeah. He'll probably give you one.
Dak Prescott throw an interception tomorrow?
He sucks. Somebody needs to intercept him off of that team.
Exception. So yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. Amari Cooper, does he get in the end zone?
No.
Yeah.
What am I doing here? I like this.
Does Tony Pollard get 50 or more rushing yards?
I feel like they're making prop bets.
These are pretty much prop bets. That's right.
This is fun though. Where's Snoop? Snoop, wake up! We're making prop bets in here. Shout out to Snoop. He's in the other room sleeping. Tony Pollard 50 or more. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, I think he gets 50 or more.
Jason Witten.
Does he catch a ball?
Does he catch a ball?
I don't know.
Well, I would say 1.5 receptions for Jason Witten.
I have
over
one.
or under.
I have one. I would take you said 1.5?
1.5.
I'll take the under. He'll get one.
So get one.
He'll get one. Does Jason Witten get 2 first downs for the Cowboys?
Well, if you're saying
Right.
under, you have to say no. I'm gonna say yes. Yeah.
Better QBR, Danny Dimes or Dak?
Danny Dimes, easy.
So Daniel Jacobs of the
Giants
Giants
has a
playing
better
against
QBR.
the
Daniel
Eagles.
Jacobs.
Jones, I'm sorry. Better QBR.
He threw 5 TDs last week. I'm coming off injury. He's healthy. He's good. I think he's going to do fine.
But the Eagles defense is pretty good.
The Eagles defense Dallas had wide open receivers against the Philadelphia Eagles, and they couldn't catch the ball.
And Dak couldn't hit him either.
And Saquon is going to run a lot harder than Zeke was running in this matchup.
I think I'll take Dak on that. Yeah, better QBR. What else? What other prop bets can we think?
How long will I watch this game? Over or under 1
quarter.
second?
Okay.
Under.
Yep, you're probably right.
I was going to say
That's
over,
the odds on favorite.
over under. I was going to say, how long will I watch this game? 0. Is it 0.0?
Yeah, over or under 0.
Over under 0.
Who has more receiving yards, Gallup or Cobb?
Ooh, Gallup.
I agree.
I'm about to go play flag football right now after this. Who has a better QBR, me or Dak Prescott?
Are you a quarterback?
Are you quarterback?
I'm nice.
Are you
I'm
really?
nice, yeah.
How do you see over, do you just create your own passing lanes, roll out like Drew Brees or what?
I'm pretty fast too, but no, I have a nice
Yeah,
arm.
because you're 120 pounds.
Yeah, I'm nice.
You can throw the ball?
Yeah, I can throw the ball.
Your hands are big enough?
Like tight windows, squeezing
I
in
need
there.
to see this.
Tight windows through
I need to see that.
the open vastness of the.
I'm playing flag
air.
football. Do you think I got a whole offensive line?
No, but that's why I asked you. Are there rushes? Can you rush?
Yeah.
After a countdown, right? Exactly.
All right. I got to see. Where are you playing at?
I'm playing at Round Rock.
Okay. Is this like a league or is
Nah,
it just like a pickup game?
with some friends. Yeah.
Just pickup game? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember.
Touch. Two-hand touch?
No, why would I play
say
two-hand touch with
flag.
flag football?
Oh, my bad. You said y'all have your own flags?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
See, we didn't have no.
We had two-hand touch. And if that was you were nice if you did two-hand touch. A lot of people was tackling.
Yeah.
No pads.
Y'all ever did that? You ever did that two-hand or one-hand?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it two below the waist?
Two below.
What are you talking about? Below the waist.
That's what you had to do.
You had
over
to touch
there.
below the waist.
You had to touch like down there.
Couldn't be
Y'all over
no.
there slapping nuts.
Pretty
You
much.
pretty much had to.
That's
Yeah.
not right. That's not right.
Pretty much. All right. So the prop bet was Zach or Dak Prescott better QBR.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I need to get an official statistician.
You do.
I need to get one so I can bring you all the reports.
Tell your special friend to go get that.
That's true. I might need to.
All
All right. College football.
No, we're not done with the Cowboys yet.
Oh
We're not
my
done
gosh.
with the NFL
We're
either.
not done with the Cowboys or the NFL. Come on, dog. Are you trying to get out of here? You got something to do besides the flag football?
Come on, Cowboys.
What time's the flag football start?
When we're done.
Oh, okay.
So
When
they're waiting on you is what you're saying.
When the
Yeah.
quarterback
When the quarterback
gets there. We can't play yet, guys. Quarterback's not
Gotta
here yet.
wait.
So, all right. So, do the Cowboys get into? Do they win the NFC East? Can the Cowboys win / the Eagles lose?
Is it winning in or
No, the
winning?
Eagles-
They win and they need to lose.
Eagles have to lose?
If they both win, the Eagles are in.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because they have a better record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Because they're the Dallas Cowboys, they get in. Yeah.
I bet. I mean, I think I would rather the Cowboys get in than the Eagles. I think the Eagles fans are almost more unbearable than Cowboys fans.
They're
So,
pretty close.
that is very true.
Pretty close.
and I think it makes an interesting storyline too. Just the whole Jason Garrett thing, like after it, especially with if the Cowboys get into the playoffs, because I mean that's something like I haven't really heard much other than me saying it on this podcast, talking about well, what if he stays?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to be a real question if they make the playoffs, and especially if they sneak a win or two out of the playoffs, then that's going to get real dicey.
Yeah, but I don't think so. I don't think they're going to get in. Like honestly, I think the Eagles win tomorrow. They're both playing at 325.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think the Eagles will step up. They've got the momentum now. Carson Wentz had a good game last week. You know, it's going to be an Eagles win. It's going to be Eagles NFC East champions at what? They'll be 9-7, I think. Yeah,
Who?
the Eagles.
If they win, yeah.
Yeah, at 9-7.
I think the Eagles let all their emotion go last week when they played the Dallas Cowboys, knowing they needed a huge win. And I think that they're going to be hungover from all that excitement, and they come out flat. And Carson Wentz again does what I think he should have done last week, and by the grace of the Cowboys' pure stupidity and mediocrity allowed the Philadelphia Eagles to win, because Dallas could have been in the game if they'd have done things a little bit differently. We've talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
We've identified it through situational coaching, maybe catching the ball, maybe not being late with the ball for Dak Prescott. Carson Wentz does not play well enough to out-duel Danny Dimes in what would be the Meadowlands, is that where it is, for the Giants home game. So, I mean, send Eli out with the W. I think that's what Danny Dimes wants to do. I think Saquon has something to prove. He hasn't played well all year long, and I think the Giants spoil the party for the Philadelphia Eagles.
So do we really think that Carson Wentz is not as good as Daniel Jones?
I think that he could be. I just don't think that he has the confidence, and I don't think he has any of his top flight receivers to do that. I mean, he's playing with a backup quarterback or a quarterback turned receiver in Ward from Houston. Shout out Cougs. And he has what he's going to rely on, his injured tight end, Ertz, and then Goddard is going to be there. I mean, I just don't think that if this turns into a shootout, I don't think Philadelphia has the weapons to keep up with the Giants.
But I mean, do the Giants have weapons other than
Slayton,
Saquon?
Golden Tate, Ingram, Saquon. Yeah, they have some weapons.
Yeah, they have a few. I think Slayton has turned it up. Sterling Shepard, is he still?
I think he's
I
still
heard
hurt.
he's injured.
He's still hurt, yeah. But yeah, I mean they've got the weaponry for sure in New York, and I think if you're the Eagles, you need Ertz and Goddard out there like double tights, man. Like those are your two guys. Those are your two
Good job, Zach.
receivers right now. Is Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz. I mean,
but that's
who
what
else do they have?
and that's great, and that's what I'm saying. But can they stretch the field and score quickly, especially if they get down by 2 touchdowns? And that's where I think this game gets really interesting. Is if the Eagles are down significantly, that they have to try to climb back through the ranks. And I understand Ward can burn, and maybe he has a connection with Wentz, but I just don't see that happening in a crucial time when they know they have to win to get in. Because if they lose and Dallas pulls out a victory, it's going to be real dicey. So I think that's where a lot of the emotion comes in, and somebody's going to play outside of themselves. We'll see what happens for the Giants and for Philly tomorrow or on Sunday, but I think Dallas takes care of business and then waits for the outcome for Philadelphia and the Giants.
All right, and so we've still got some games that are going on. Do we have any tomorrow on Saturday?
NFL?
Was that what just
No
week?
NFL tomorrow.
Okay, because tomorrow is the college football playoffs.
Right.
All right, so you want to go through just real quick? Just go through the lines real quick.
Yeah, we'll start with we'll wait for the Texans at the end, and then we'll start with Jets at Bills. Buffalo 1-point favorite at the house.
Really?
1-point favorite at the house. Yeah.
That's it?
Over who?
The Jets.
Oh,
That's pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
That's a great question. I want to see who's out. No, man, that's just looking like a tight divisional game at the house. Maybe Buffalo will sit some people since they already clinched a wild card spot.
Mm-hmm.
That could be
that's
something
true.
played into it. That's the only thing I can see.
Yeah, and I mean,
but I mean, if you're Buffalo, like I would say people.
Yeah, I agree with that.
yeah, I mean, you
have nothing to gain.
That's true. And but for the Jets, I mean, if you lose, it could be another spot higher in the draft. So it's like a coin flip on who doesn't want to win this football game. And I think Bills. I think the Bills cover 1 point. I think they cover. I think they accidentally win by more than 1 point.
I agree with that. Cleveland at the Bengals. Cleveland 2.5-point favorite on the road, which is not really on the road.
I mean, does this matter?
Nope, not at all.
Not at all.
Packers at Lions. Green Bay 12.5-point favorite.
Dang.
Another game that
Hopefully the Packers sit people too.
well, I mean, they could potentially maybe get home field advantage.
Well, I mean, see, they can clinch the number 1 seed in the NFC if the 49ers lose.
Yeah, home field advantage.
So then everybody's gonna play then for sure.
That's why that's maybe the line's being so high.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, Chargers at Chiefs. Chiefs 9-point favorite.
And the Chiefs, they're trying to get the number 2 seed and a first-round bye with a win and a Patriots loss. Chiefs for sure.
Yeah. Think they cover 9? At the house?
I think they do.
What I was going to do real quick is I was going to search to see if maybe that possibly...
You should have had some show notes.
And you should have turned your phone off. So here we go. Looks like the weather tomorrow, clear, 39 degrees. That's going to be really in favor for the Chiefs because we're coming in a warm weather team with the Chargers. All right, Chicago at the Vikings. Chicago, 3-point favorite. Minnesota's probably sitting people.
Yeah. The Vikings are locked in at the number 6 seed, so they really don't it doesn't matter.
All right. Dolphins at Patriots. New England, 16.5-point favorite.
Dang.
Dolphins are tanking for Tua.
Patriots are trying to lock up that first round bye.
Because they can do it with a win or a Chiefs loss.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to definitely be out there trying to get that number 2 seed for sure.
Warm weather team going up north, playing in a cold environment. Not looking good for Miami.
I don't think that they'll lose by 17 points though.
I do.
All right, I don't.
Fitz magic is over. Falcons at Buccaneers.
It never was.
Tampa Bay. Man, he's thrown 5 touchdowns for 5 different NFL franchises.
Okay.
Falcons
Jameis Winston
at
throwing 5 touchdowns a game.
What's that?
Jameis Winston throwing 5 touchdowns a game.
Yeah, it was 4 interceptions. All right, go ahead.
Jameis Winston trying to make that money.
Falcons at Buccaneers. Buccaneers 1.5-point favorite at home.
And then they just said today that the coaches are going to stay and GM's going to stay
For the Falcons?
for the Falcons.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. So
I mean, you are playing against Jameis Winston, so you're either going to lose by 1,000 or the Bucks are going to struggle to cover that.
yeah. What was the line again?
1.5
1.5.
point Tampa Bay.
I think I'll go with the Falcons.
I'll take Tampa Bay to cover that. The Saints at the Carolina Panthers. Wow. New Orleans, 13.5-point favorite.
New Orleans working out Antonio Brown today. Did y'all see that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they're trying to clinch a first-round bye with a win and a loss by either the 49ers or Packers, or by victories by the Packers and Seahawks. To get the number one seed, Saints need a win, along with losses by 49ers and Packers. I don't think the Packers are going to lose.
I don't either.
49ers could.
Yep.
Michael Thomas is 112 yards shy of was it 1,800?
Oh, he's going to get that.
Yeah.
Drew Brees is going to try to make that happen.
Yeah, I think New Orleans covers.
All right. Raiders at Broncos. Denver, 3.5-point favorite at the house. Smile high.
Raiders are still alive, right?
Mathematically, yes.
Okay. Let's see if I can find it here. Yep, they are. Okay, they need a win combined with losses by the Titans and Steelers, as well as a Colts win, and then a win by at least one of the following teams: Bears, Lions, Chargers, or Patriots.
Wait. Say that again. The last part.
A win by at least one of the following teams: Bears, Lions, Chargers, or Patriots.
So that could all happen.
But I mean, they only need one of those.
In addition to the stuff the criteria you listed before, though, right?
Combined with losses by
Tennessee?
the Titans and Steelers,
which both can happen.
Mm-hmm. And then so that would be still they would still be alive. They would get and if they win, then they would be the AFC's number 6 seed. So that's interesting.
So the Raiders get in with a Tennessee loss, a Steelers loss, and a win by the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's definitely plausible.
Okay.
All right. Cardinals at Rams. Rams 6-point favorite at the house.
What is the house?
The LA Coliseum.
Oh, you're just saying the house is
Their
in
home.
like their home. Oh.
Right.
Yeah, dude.
Good job.
You trying to make that a thing?
Just trying to say the house. That's all. Something different.
Sounds cool.
Trying to go different things. Variety.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rams 6.5.
I'm taking the Cardinals. I'm taking them again. Just gonna ride with Kyler Murray and then Coach Bro. All right. Eagles at Giants. Philadelphia 4.5-point favorite at home.
Eagles cover.
Danny Dimes.
Why do y'all like
plus 4.5
so much?
Plus 4.5. Coming off injury, throwing 5 touchdowns is huge. I know they were playing Washington and they're horrible. I get it, but I just think that's what they do at the house. Send Eli off with a win. Happy retirement. See y'all later. We're gonna make noise next year.
All right, so I'm going Eagles.
Cool. Colts at Jaguars. Indianapolis 4-point favorite on the road.
I'll go Colts.
Yeah, I do too.
Remember when we were all on Gardner Minshew?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That
died real fast.
Man,
that died real fast.
But I mean, we kind of knew that was going to happen, though, man.
Did we?
I didn't.
We know.
It was fun. It was fun while I was going, and then the next week was like
Minshew Mania. I mean, we had Minshew Mania for about a good 3 weeks, I think. It was like a good.
Nick Foles killed it.
But it was a good while.
Bad that
he
died.
killed it.
It was a good while that we were, it was Gardner Minshew. We're talking about Washington State. This was probably episodes in single digits.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah, when Foles went down in week 1. You saw him get.
It was fun,
smashed.
man. Minshew Mania was fun, and then Nick Foles had to ruin it and then be
it's kind of
normal self.
It was kind of like, I guess it didn't last as long, but it was kind of like Lynn Sanity. Remember that Jeremy Lin? So,
lasted about as long as Peyton Hillis.
That's true.
Dang.
R.I.P. Minshew Mania.
All right. Steelers at Ravens. Pittsburgh, 1.5-point favorite.
Well, who's going to play for the Ravens?
RG3.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
All right. So there's 3 different scenarios for the Steelers here to get the AFC's number 6 seed. The first one is a win and a Titans loss. Second one is losses by the Titans and Raiders with a Colts win, or wins by the Colts and Raiders along with losses by the Bears, Lions, Chargers, and Patriots.
That's a lot.
So basically, what they need is to win,
and the
Titans loss.
Yes.
So, but in these other 2, they don't have to win. Yeah, these other two losses by the Titans and Raiders with the Colts win. It doesn't say that they have to win.
So if they lose, if the Titans lose and the Raiders lose, they're in no matter what.
If the Colts win, the Colts beat who are they
Jaguars.
playing? Jaguars, which can happen.
Yeah.
And then the third one is wins by Colts, Raiders, and then losses by Bears, Lions, Chargers, and Patriots.
All of those are just one.
I don't know. Why does it say Bears? I don't know.
Because I don't know why Bears either.
Bears and Lions in the NFC.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yep. All right. Primetime Sunday night. 49ers at Seahawks. San Francisco, 3.5-point favorites.
I'm going Seahawks.
Yeah, I don't think if the 49ers win, I don't think it's by more than 3.
Yeah, I like the Seahawks also at the house. All right. Texas teams, Titans at Texans. Tennessee, 3.5-point favorite on the road.
I'm going Texans.
This
is for the AFC South title, right?
No, Houston already wrapped that up.
Oh, that's right.
They wrapped that up 2 weeks ago when they
right.
beat Tennessee at the house, at their house.
So this is nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, I guess you have to go Tennessee if it's nothing.
I wouldn't bet on this game, but I'll take money line for the Texans.
All
right, and then your Dallas Cowboys, we already mentioned it earlier, 11-point favorites at home versus the Redskins. Big rivalry game, though. Big rivalry game.
Yeah.
Historically.
Right. I'm going to take the Redskins to cover.
Wow.
11? Redskins plus 11?
Mm-hmm. I'll take 11 points.
I'm going to take just the Cowboys straight up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be with you, Chris. I'm gonna take Redskins plus 11.
But you guys think that they're going to get into the playoffs, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay, and I don't. All right. Well, that wraps up NFL ReconAthlete.com podcast episode 38. Once again, Zach Lucero, Paul Rodriguez, and Chris Sanchez. The way that Zach does it. College football playoff preview. We talked about LSU, Oklahoma. Talked about Clemson, Ohio State a few days ago. Have we changed our minds at all? I mean, LSU, Oklahoma, everybody's pretty much LSU's.
I almost put $100 on Oklahoma the other day.
Did you?
To win everything?
How much did that pay out?
I don't remember, but it was a lot.
It was a lot?
It was like plus what? Plus 250?
I don't remember. I had it on my phone.
Be.
I forgot. But
it had to be.
Or maybe more.
Just because. You never
that
know.
would have been like $2,500 if you put that 100 on.
I would have put it all towards recon.
I'm sure you would.
For the betterment of the program.
Ellis, for a new host. Is that what you're saying?
A new co-host.
New co-host.
Zach, Chris, and somebody else.
Okay. Cool. Dang.
I'll pay out Paul's contract.
Hey man, that's cool. I'd rather be an administrator.
So LSU Oklahoma is 3:00. It's the early game. I mean, there's nothing that's happened between Monday and today that has made us think that OU can win this football game. Not in my opinion. I mean, I was trying to I remember on Monday we were talking about it. I was trying to give Oklahoma some kind of credit, with CeeDee Lamb and those other with Jalen Hurts, and,
right?
Kennedy Brooks, and just trying to say, hey, they're going to be competitive in this game, but they're missing 2 defensive starters now.
Mm-hmm.
A guy off that was a key cog in their special teams, and then their backup running back. So the LSU is probably going to be 70%, you think, of the crowd?
Yeah, probably.
I mean, OU's travel.
OU does travel, yeah.
So I mean, I would say maybe, I don't know. So what would you think crowd wise?
Where is it at?
In Atlanta.
Oh God, I'll say 70-30.
That's what I was saying. 70-30.
Yeah, that's
right?
what Chris said.
LSU, right?
Yeah.
Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. 70-30. Yeah, because they just played there. What, a couple weeks ago?
Well, they had that was where the SEC championship game
Right.
was, and they had the option, especially if they won, they could choose that city to have the semifinal, and that's what they actually ended up doing.
So do y'all think that this game is competitive at halftime?
No.
At halftime? In the fourth quarter, at least. I mean, in the third quarter, at least. No, you think it's over?
I think it's over in the first.
So
quarter.
you think LSU goes into halftime up multiple scores
by 14 or more? Yes.
See, I think it's just kind of OU's calling card is to come out really hot, and I think that coming out really hot against LSU just means scoring with them. It's not like you're stopping them. So it wouldn't surprise me if they're close at half, but in the second half, it's just they pull away.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll be competitive until the fourth quarter. I don't think fourth quarter will be.
I bet it's close at halftime, and at the end of the third quarter, you're like, "What happened?"
Yeah, I think fourth quarter will be, a lot of. I'll probably change it to, I don't know, put it on The Office on Netflix or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
I probably won't watch that fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think Coach O wants to prove a point here. He wants to make sure his men don't get suckered into anything. He wants to make sure this game is over as fast as possible. He knows he's got the better talent. He knows he has better horses on his end of the ball. And I think he's going to make sure they get this done early and quick. The line is minus 13.5 for LSU.
Yeah. Has that moved?
I haven't checked it previously, but this is what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think it was 14 earlier this week.
Maybe it has half a point, maybe.
I don't know. So LSU covers? Paul thinks so.
Yeah, I think they covered, man. I think it's going to be like
I think they win by 14.
I think they win by like over 20 points.
Yikes.
Score prediction.
I don't think they want to.
Why?
I think it's one of those games where kind of like you see like in week 10 in high school football where you're like, all right, let's just get the win and then chill out and get ready for the playoffs. That's what they're doing basically. This is like it. They're just getting ready for the playoffs, but in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Coach O wants to prove a point. He knows the winner of the game after them is going to be riding very high, and he wants to make sure that there's no doubt that when they go in the game, the team that their opponent, LSU's opponent, is going to have their hands full come game time.
Yeah, and
in
they're
the national championship.
And like I said, they played there a couple weeks ago in the SEC championship. Well, not a couple, but a few weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. And
they're just going to, the surroundings are going to be familiar. They're going to be, in the same hotel room. They're going to go to eat the same places. They're, I just think that there's so much on the side of LSU right now that, even the stuff that's outside, like I said, like, going to the hotel, where what gate you're going to fly into, just everything's so familiar to them.
They've already had a dress rehearsal.
That they know what to expect, and there's not going to be any distractions or anything like that. So I want OU to be competitive just so it would be a good football game to watch. Don't get me wrong, as a Longhorn fan, if just to watch OU get obliterated, that would be fun.
But I think this year watching LSU do anything has just been entertaining to watch.
That's true.
Even when they're blowing out people, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and especially if they're blowing out at OU. But OU has a history of just laying eggs in the in the big games.
Yeah,
they've done that. They've done that before. So maybe they're trying to come out and just have a different history this time. Paul's just looking at me like I'm crazy.
I appreciate y'all's insight and y'all's points. I just think you're wrong.
I don't know. My point is that there is really no point. I was just saying that LSU is going to win, but pretty big. But I want Oklahoma to make it a game. I want to be able to watch the whole football game.
I'm going to watch the whole game regardless. I just don't believe that what I'm looking for is I don't think that they have the depth. Oklahoma didn't have the depth to keep up with LSU. All right. And that's where it gets really interesting.
All right, but LSU.
And if they did have the depth, they're all suspended now.
Yeah. Right. So LSU. God, it would be one of the biggest upsets of all time if OU wins tomorrow, right?
Oh yeah.
Huge upset. All right, Clemson, Ohio State, Clemson. I think this is going to be another one where the crowd is going to be like 70-30 for Ohio State.
They do travel well.
Yeah, I think so. Ohio State fans travel.
Yeah, but I think Clemson fans are so like new that they're like going everywhere. When you're like a fan of something, you're like, oh, I want to go see them on tour, like everywhere. So I think that's what Clemson is. And I think it's interesting too, going back to when they first announced like the final college football playoff rankings, and so who was going to be playing and who. Basically, everyone said that they're ready to play whoever. Dabo Swinney had been complaining all year that his team wasn't getting the respect, and when they announced this, he's like, I'm ready to play Ohio State and prove to you guys that we should have been up there. As the top number 1 or number 2 teams. Coach Joe, he basically just said he doesn't care. He'll play anybody. and Oklahoma just was glad to be in. And then it was Coach Day for Ohio State was still going on and on about how he thought that they should have been number one and they should have been the team playing Oklahoma. And to me, that just kind of shows that they're scared for this game. That because they know they haven't been tested, they know that regardless of what everyone said about their conference this year, that when it came down to it, that the teams that were ranked highly in their conference weren't what all they were cracked up to be, and they knew that there were at times where Ohio State did look kind of finicky and did show signs of weakness, and I think they're nervous for this Clemson game, and I would be too, because it's definitely the best game that they played all year.
I mean, yeah, it's going to be the best team that they play, obviously, but I mean they beat Wisconsin twice. The second time they just rolled them. I mean, like Penn State. I mean, that was a 28-17. I think it was that game. And that game was, I watched that game. Ohio State dominated that game. That was kind of like the score wasn't reflective of how that game went. They took care of business when they went to Michigan. I mean, Ohio State's done a lot this year. They played a lot better teams than Clemson has. But I think what comes in my opinion, what Clemson does is they have the experience.
Yes.
They have a team that's been there.
Yep.
And they have, I think on the coaching factor, they have the coaching with the experience. I think they have the better coach with Dabo against, basically a rookie coach.
Coach Day, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, I'm still picking Ohio State because, like I said, and I've been saying this the whole time, that I picked Ohio State back in like week 2 or 3. So I'm still rolling with Ohio State, but I think now a lot of people are getting on the Clemson bandwagon. The closer and closer that we says. So what's the line right now?
-2 Clemson.
Yeah. So I think the closer and closer we get into this game, a lot of people are starting to talk about the Tigers beating Ohio State because of that chip on their shoulder, about not getting number 1 or number 2. And they've got the experienced players out there that, especially at the quarterback position.
And I think just because of the narrative surrounding this game, like in the media and stuff, that it's Clemson coming in with the momentum.
Yeah.
And not Ohio State, which I think is weird with Clemson being the lesser seed. But I just think that they're the team that has the momentum just because people you haven't seen Clemson falter all year really, and you've seen that with Ohio State a couple times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Paul.
There's mystery surrounding Clemson, in my opinion. They haven't played anybody. They haven't been tested.
It's true,
but that doesn't mean they haven't been tested in practice. That doesn't mean Coach Dabo Swinney is going to make his ones go against ones, offense versus defense, because that is their best opponent. Themselves. They played each other, I'm sure, through the whole year. And Ohio State knows the type of athletes they have that they're going to play when they go into that matchup. But what I'm looking for is Trevor Lawrence to match up against that huge defensive secondary for Ohio State. I think that early on in the year, Trevor Lawrence was throwing a lot of interceptions to passes he had wide open in his first year. He learned from those mistakes. He's matured. He's gone to a certain level of maturation. Now, coupled with his experience in the national championship, winning that game, understanding how to perform in high-pressure situations, I think that Trevor Lawrence goes out, dices up the Ohio State defense. It's going to be a high-scoring game. The over-under is 62, I believe, right now. And I think that Clemson wins the game, but they're going to win it late, and it's going to be probably on the last-minute drive by Trevor Lawrence against that Ohio State secondary. And there's first-round DBs in that secondary, as well as potential, in my opinion, could have been Thorpe Award-winning DBs back there.
Grant Delpit done play for them.
Okay, what about homeboy from Texas that you were real high on?
Who?
The DB for Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Jeff Okuda?
There you go.
Yeah.
I was trying to give you your shot.
I thought you meant for Texas.
No,
I said
Texas.
who?
From Texas.
There was a dude in my work when they announced all those award winners that was like mad that Brandon Jones wasn't in there. He's like, if you look at the stats between Grant Delpit and Brandon Jones, they really aren't that similar. They really aren't that like dissimilar. I was like, yeah, because Grant Delpit only played like 5 games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, true. All right, so Ohio State, me,
Clemson.
All right, so I've got Ohio State versus LSU. You guys got LSU or Clemson versus LSU.
I like Clemson for the whole thing.
And I would say I think if it's Ohio State, LSU matches up better against them than they do against Clemson.
Okay, so I got Ohio State. I have to pick Ohio State to win national championship.
I like Clemson for the whole thing.
I like LSU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll find out.
We got 3 different picks. Okay. That's good.
Double or nothing on that Pluckers?
Wait. You're talking about LSU for the whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the championship.
Good.
Yeah, we'll do double or nothing for that Pluckers.
All right.
So
that means if you lose, you have to buy double. One for.
It's a lot of food, Chris.
You can just give me a gift card when you give me my jersey.
Paul with the warning. Yes, I can do that. Right. All right. So, any games we want to talk about other than the semifinals? I know A&M plays later against Oklahoma State.
Do we know Spencer Sanders in that game?
We can find out.
Do we know?
I do not know.
We can talk about all the money I made Snoop. That really wasn't that much money, but I still did a good job.
Good job. Yeah, I think there's a lot. There's these other non-playoff games really don't matter, and you see more and more of these players sitting.
But at least they're getting better and better. The bowl games, like we're getting into the time of the year that they're better than like instead of the Pitt versus whoever when that dude punched the ref in the face or whoever Snoop was betting on last night. Who was it? Miami and Louisiana Tech. Man, Manny Diaz. It's not a good look.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Not a good look. Come on the podcast though, Manny Diaz.
Yeah.
Right there.
I mean, that guy's for you. Yeah, I don't know. I never was a big fan of his, even when he was at Texas.
You really? Mm-hmm. Yeah, good defenses at Texas.
No word on Sanders.
No word on Sanders? Okay. North Carolina won today.
They won big.
They won big time.
Mac Brown, come on the podcast.
Mac Brown, come on the podcast. You got the
bring Manny Diaz.
permanent invite. Yeah, we can talk about old school Longhorn football. All right, real quick. Tom Herman doesn't do well. Sorry about my English. Tom Herman doesn't do well. Mac Brown come back?
No.
Yeah, right.
Mac Brown come back? Come on, man.
Like, we're
talking like 2 years, 2-3 years down the road here.
Manny Diaz would be the coach again before.
What? I mean, I'm just saying.
No.
Max. He was what'd you say? 7-6 this year.
7-6.
Bowl win.
Bowl win. 55 to 13 bowl win.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
No.
Just saying, we could just mark it down. December 27, 2019.
He doesn't want that headache, Chris.
December 27, 2019. Chris,
I think
predicted the return of Mac Brown as the head football coach for the Texas Longhorns.
One of the which one is the Shipley's dad is the coach, right? The one who used to coach in high school. Yeah. I think he should be the head coach of Texas, and all his kid and all the McCoy kids could be the coordinators. There you go.
All right. Other games tomorrow, Paul. Do you have any other in front of you?
Other games tomorrow, Saturday, yes. So it looks like we have Memphis, Penn State.
Penn State's going to roll.
Penn State, 7-point favorite.
The Penn State's going to roll.
Notre Dame, Iowa State. Notre Dame, 3.5-point favorite.
As a Big 12 fan, I hope that game is close. Mm-hmm. But because I think if Notre Dame loses this game, they're kind of in a state of panic.
Yeah, and I think Notre Dame.
Brian Kelly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Notre Dame covers that one. That's it?
That's it.
All right. And then you got the college football semifinals. Make sure that you tune in so you can tune in with us, and we'll give y'all what we thought about the football games. What are we doing next week? Monday?
We're gonna talk about that.
Tuesday. All right, because we need I got a request, some people like, hey, can you be more consistent about the time and day? I'm like, I don't know. Yes.
How about y'all just be consistent on tuning in?
Right. So we need to put it out there too. We need to when we figure it out, we'll put it out on our Facebook page and all that other stuff.
It's on our Instagram page.
So well, I mean, you got to put it on all the platforms, and most people are on Facebook now. All the old people.
Yeah, all the old people.
Yeah. So all right. So anything else, guys? We wrapping up?
Nope.
You got that arm ready?
That's ready.
It's locked and loaded.
I kind of gotta go to the restroom.
Oh gosh, for the football game.
Yeah, for the football game, dude. All right. Well, for Zach Luceto, Paul Rodriguez, Chris Sanchez, Paul, do your thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all join the podcast, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. As always, click the bell. We'll let you know when you upload. We out.